Hey foodies, what's up? Welcome back to another amazing episode of Cooking Depot. It's a big old world out there, 7 continents, nearly 200 countries, and some 7 billion people and counting. That's a lot of hungry stomachs, a lot of mouths to feed, and very, very many different palates seeking new and exotic flavors. But sometimes man's search for new delicacies or just basic survival has led us to eat, drink, and otherwise consume foods that would seem unbelievably disgusting to most modern Westerners. From snakes to bugs to exotic aquatic life, it's fair to say that if something can be eaten, somebody somewhere has done so or at least tried to. Sure, it's a big hard world, and all of us, if hungry enough, would eat any creature regardless of how unappealing it is to the eye or tongue, but in many corners of the world, people eat by choice creatures and things that most of us would give a second thought to no matter how hungry we are. Number 6. Tuna eyeball. Surprisingly, this is a common dish throughout Japan. It can be found in nearly any store surrounded by fish fat and severed muscle. The giant eyeballs are boiled or stewed until parts of the giant dark eyeball become jellied. Supposedly, it tastes like squid, soft but rubbery on the outside. The fat and muscles it comes still attached to are also quite tasty. All one adds is salt and spices of their choices. Perhaps it isn't bad, but I think most of us in this part of the world would rather stick with the canned stuff. Number 5. Bear paw. No, this isn't that lumpy, brown, raisin-filled donut that you've passed on at cafes or supermarkets. This is the real deal. The food is common in the Far East, and in Cambodia, bear paw soup is considered a delicacy. Sadly, the bears that these paws are harvested from are kept in grossly inhumane conditions, often kept locked in cages throughout their entire lives, and handled by people with little to no knowledge of humane animal treatment. The bears are also prized for their bile, which is still used by some traditional Chinese medicine practitioners. The practice of bear farming has been banned in some Eastern nations and heavily regulated in others, but many advocates say bears are still being widely mistreated at numerous such farms throughout the area. Number 4. Century egg. Call it our Western bias, but some folks out in the Far East eat some very, very strange things. Take century eggs, for example, otherwise known as paidan or preserved eggs. This dish starts out as an ordinary chicken, duck, or quail egg, but then it's preserved in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime, and rice hulls for several weeks to several months. What you're left with is an egg white that's a reddish-brown, translucent jelly with a salty flavor and a creamy dark green yolk. The smell is similar to ammonia or hydrogen sulfide, in case the look alone wasn't bad enough. The eggs can be eaten on their own as an appetizer or cut up and added to a variety of soups and dishes. Number 3. Wasp crackers. Again, it probably comes as a surprise to think that somewhere, at some point, somebody saw a hive of hissing, angry wasps and thought that they would like to eat that. But in Japan, that is just what they do. The wasps were caught, boiled, dried out, and then added to the cracker mix. Of course, eating bugs is not an entirely new phenomenon. In Japan, wasps and other insects are commonly eaten for their nutritional benefits, including high concentrations of protein and perhaps also for their taste. Number 2. Live cobra heart. And if eating a raw cobra heart wasn't exotic enough, this one again goes to the Far East, as many of this list specifically Vietnam. In northern Vietnam, many believe that eating the heart of a snake would give one the powers and strength of the large venomous snake. Today, it's more commonly eaten by tourists. The snake is first brought out, still alive and hissing, and its head is chopped off and the venom drained from it. Luckily, the venom is only dangerous when taken intravenously, so nothing safety-wise to worry about. The snake is then cut open and the heart carved out. One can supposedly still feel it beating in the back of their throat. Number 1. Fried tarantula. Yep, that's right. In America, the mere sight of a daddy long legs will send many women, and some men, myself included, into absolute hysterics. But in Cambodia, tarantulas, those huge, hairy, lumbering spiders of your nightmares, are considered a delicacy. They're commonly served pan-fried with garlic and salt, and often sold from street vendors. The consistency is described as crunchy on the outside and gooey on the inside. The taste is considered bland, like chicken. Most only eat the head and the legs, while some brave souls finish off the abdomen, which contains a brown paste consisting of organs and excrement as well. Certainly, this puts new meaning on the phrase, "I'll eat anything fried." So guys, that's all for today's video. Share as much as you can as it really motivates us to create more content for you guys. With that, we end our video. Hope you liked the video.